Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. We're the Movie Couple. I'm Dustin.
I'm Wendy.
And here's our non-spoiler review for Bumblebee. Bumblebee is directed by Travis Knight and stars Hailee Steinfeld and John Cena. After a fierce battle, Bumblebee is sent to Earth to establish a new home base for the Autobots, but he'll need help along the way. My anticipations for this movie were very mixed because my expectations and Transformers haven't gone very well together in the last 5 for all the movies.
I don't even know how many Transformers by Michael Bay there has been. I
think there's
know
5?
I think so too. I know we watched the very first one, Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox, and then we watched the second one with Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox.
Yeah.
And then I think I watched...
It was after the third one.
Parts of the third, right? Because then that was...
Maybe there was only 4.
I watched... No, I think there's 5. But anyways, I didn't finish watching 3. I don't want to say I walked out. I think I caught it on, like, digital.
Yeah.
And I just didn't finish it. Anyways, so...
Every single trailer, though, for every single Transformers movie
epic.
has been awesome.
So epic.
And no matter how bad the last one was, you were able to be like, okay, maybe this one. Maybe this one's going to be amazing.
What's the one with the Dinobots?
Yeah, that's the Age of Extinction one.
Didn't watch it.
But the thing is, though, this one, Bumblebee, I thought had pretty good trailers, too. They had some really good geek service. They showed you some Autobots and some Decepticons that you're like, oh my gosh, they're actually going to put them in there, like, in their true form. And you saw pictures of Cybertron, and I was like, I was just stoked because I'm like, okay, this looks like a maybe reboot, but could possibly connect. But if it goes well, they can be like, yeah, we're just gonna sweep all that old stuff under the rug.
We're gonna retcon it somehow.
Yeah, I mean, it happens before in many different franchises. So I was optimistically pessimistic.
Oh my god!
I guess I could say.
That's not confusing at all. The only excitement I had for this movie going in, because I do like Transformers as in, like, I played with the toys when I was younger. I remember the animated series, and we all loved it. So, and I did like the first Bay one. I really did. And then it just progressively went downhill for me. It just wasn't for me. I know it kills overseas, and I think that's great because these movies cost a lot of money. But it just wasn't for me, and I just was not invested at all. And the only thing that kind of made me go, I think I might be into it, is that it's directed by Travis Knight, who is also the CEO of the head of Laika. So he's done Kubo, and he actually directed. That was his directorial debut, even though he's the head of Laika. That was the very first stop motion animation movie that he directed, and we absolutely loved Kubo.
That movie.
And
so I was kind of excited about it.
Yeah, and I think what's important is Travis Knight's worked in all these clay animations, so he's really going to know and understand how to bring a robot who can't speak, breathe life into it on screen and give it more character than just a CGI fest, because with Transformer you can't avoid the CGI, but I think, I had a feeling that he was going to be able to bring some sort of, like, personal touch to it, and I really found Bumblebee to be extremely entertaining, really endearing, very charming. I thought Hailee Steinfeld is the perfect choice because she's got that, like, Edge of 17 vibe in this movie too, where she's kind of that, like, coming of age character, and she's learning about herself. She's learning to grow up. She's kind of dealing with her own problems, and then you throw a giant robot, into her life, just to mix it up a little bit, and it was such a great adventure.
And honestly, that is what they did very, very well in this movie. The characters. Bumblebee is a lovable, endearing character that you just immediately attach onto. Hailee Steinfeld's character is a great character, and you really kind of sympathize with what's going on in her story, and it really does focus on a story, character-based kind of narrative here. And some of the other, and also John Cena's character, I have to admit, had a lot of shining moments in this movie. And there's a couple, my favorite line in this entire movie.
Oh, no, I don't think you can say it.
Oh, no, I'm not going to tell you.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you, but it comes from John Cena.
Yeah, a lot of his lines, I feel like these wrestlers turn actors know how to deliver these lines. They're just and they're performers. They've been doing it just in front of a live audience, and now they're doing it for the camera. And John Cena has really come into his own as far as acting goes. I remember when he first started out, it wasn't
Like, there was something
bad.
That were like, John Cena.
It wasn't bad, but he wasn't quite like, he was a little bit like, out of his comfort zone in a sense. And ever since, I think after Blockers, he's really starting to come into his own and finding like what's his type and character and what sort of works for him. And in this movie, he is. So I don't even want to describe his character to give away exactly the type of character he's being. I mean, maybe you see a little bit in the trailer, but he is the perfect casting choice for this one.
Yeah, and so all of the characters work really well together, but then on top of that, they did an amazing job with the Autobots and the Decepticons, and they show it in the trailer, and you know that there's this big battle on Cybertron. The way they choreographed it, the way they Travis Knight directed everything, it was amazingly shot. And this is throughout all of these scenes on Cybertron. You're just sitting there as a fan, just geeking out throughout the entire thing. So he handled character very well in the middle. The action scenes were very well put together, and the CGI I thought was pretty well done as well. But
I really liked it.
Transformers has never had a problem with their CGI'd robots.
Well,
in that phase, of them fighting and.
What I like more about this one, this is set in the 80s, 1987, late 80s, and they gave all the Autobots and the Decepticons in their more closer to the original form, and I think that is what fans wanted to see from the beginning, even from the very first Transformers one by Michael Bay. Is by the time we saw Bumblebee, he was already upgraded and he was new and shinier, and it just he looked like Bumblebee, he acted like Bumblebee, but it wasn't quite exactly like Bumblebee, but we went with it because that's all we had. And so the Bay Transformers have kind of set the tone, and Travis Knight, and I don't know if it was his decision or the writer's decision to get back to 1987, but I thought that was perfect because the fans of Transformers really got to see, I think, what we've been wanting to see for all these years. And we actually were in the theater next to Roca and his buddy, and I mean, you guys already know John Roca. If you watch Collider, he loves Transformers.
It was funny to sit next to him,
but he loves
him
this
and his
movie.
Buddy were sitting there, and they had very, audible, woo moments in the movie.
I don't know.
And part of me got a little pumped up with them. So I'm like, that's awesome. So, I mean, there are a lot of really good things in this movie. Now, for me personally, I know you're not going to agree with this.
Okay.
I did start finding the middle part of this movie to be a little bit dragging. I found it to be, okay, I get the point. We get the fact that there's some, we know the emotional problems that are going, I don't want to say emotional problems, but some of the problems that...
The conflicts.
Conflicts.
Every character in every story has a conflict. So.
And I kept on wanting to be like, well, I want to see more Transformers. I want to see more Bumblebee.
Doesn't everybody?
And technically that makes sense, because we would love to see an entire movie that was just all Autobots and Decepticons on Cybertron.
I see where you're coming from, but I understand why they do what they had to do, because I don't know if we're quite ready for just a all Transformers only, no humans movie. And I like adding the personal touch with the human connection with the robot. It kind of becomes like how they always call it like a man and his dog type of movie.
Yeah.
Like this is kind of it's not
a
quite,
robot
but
and his human.
And it's just cute, and it adds a little bit more of it gives Bumblebee also another reason why for being there on Earth, more than just his original mission. Now it puts more at stake. It's basically
and more
what
attachment to their new home.
Yeah, and oh god, I just found this. It's just so fun to watch, beginning to end. And I want to shout out Angela Bassett for lending her voices to one of the Transformers. I don't know if I can say it's on. Look it up on IMDb. She's one of the Decepticons, and she sounds phenomenal. Peter Collins is back as Optimus Prime, And every time you hear his voice, it just kind of booms.
Yeah.
And resonates like inside you. You're like, oh
it's
my
like
gosh.
Instant respect.
Ah!
You know, you hear his voice and you're just like, oh. Kind of like James Earl Jones's voice. You hear his voice and you're immediately like, oh.
So what do you think?
Master.
What is your rating for this movie?
I'm giving it a check it out. I mean, this is a great movie, a lot of fun to watch. I felt it kind of dragged a little bit in the middle, but not true for everyone.
Right.
But definitely go and watch it. This really seems to get the Transformers franchise back on track, giving the fans what they want, and still being able to do a good story.
My rating is also check it out. I think you guys are going to lose it in the first 10 minutes. I hope you do. So when you do see the movie, come back to this video, comment below, and let us know what you thought of the first, like, roughly 6 to 10 minutes of the movie.
Very true. But it's not just what we think. What did you guys think? Make sure if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Check us out on Patreon. Talk about it. No spoilers. And we'll see you in the next movie. The next trailer. Whatever this is. The next video.
I'm leaving it.
And we'll see you in the next video.